Kyle is here to tell you that you are a superhero with a special power, and perhaps you should be using it. Now, here is Kyle Conrad with his speech, a message from the future. Kyle Conrad.
Fellow Toastmasters, honored guest, tonight I'll be talking again about Tanzania, but I want to ask you all a question. Who here has wished they had superpowers? Maybe you want to go reset something you did wrong? Yeah, all of us.
I already have them.
Oh, well, there you go. Who also has a superpower? No. Now, who has wished they were able to change time, maybe go back in time? Yeah, a lot of us. Great. I'm here to tell you, you can kind of do that. Now, it's not because you have to drink something magical and get special abilities. No. All you have to do is travel a little bit. Because I'm telling you, when I went to Tanzania, it was like going back in time. I was seeing things I had just read about. I saw mamas in my village grinding corn with a mortar and pestle, a big rock and a little rock. I saw people using a hand-draw plow and then just plowing with their hands alone. I saw things I had just read about. And I want to talk to you about this because it was kind of a wonky time machine. I saw a lot of things that were in the past, but the future was coming fast. They were going from a third world to a first world almost overnight. It was crazy the things I would see. Because right behind that mom, using her mortar and pestle was her husband on a cell phone. And I'm just like, wait, what? What's going on here? Right behind the person using a hand plow was a car driving by. It was all these kind of weird juxtapositions. It was a really strange world to be a part of, and I felt like I was an ambassador from the future. And I think we all have that ability. We're all lucky enough to be in a first world country. Now, I think it's also important that we think about this because I think we've done some things wrong in the first world. I don't know, raise your hand if you agree. There are some things we wish we could reset in the first world, do a little bit better, right? Yeah. Well, the third world is kind of a clean slate. They're just starting to get that new stuff. And I think it's perhaps not our duty, but a great responsibility we can take on if we choose to help them time travel in a more responsible way than we have. So I'm going to give you some examples of things I saw and why I think it's some examples of why they should maybe change their course. Right now they want to follow our lead. So for instance, I mentioned that Tanzania is an agricultural country. Everybody's a farmer. Now, farming here, only a few people do it and they can make mass quantities of food for the rest of us. There, everybody struggles to be a farmer. It's just make enough for their family. So there's huge rooms for improvement, right? Yes, but should they do it like we did? One example, they're now using new kinds of seeds. They're called GMO seeds, genetically modified seeds. They're using hybrid seeds. We give them these seeds and we promise them, you will get more corn from this seed. It's gonna be amazing. The fat, juicy, plump corn you get is awesome. I'm like, oh, great, sounds great. I'll buy them. I'll spend my extra measly money to get even these special seeds that are gonna give me a great crop. Well, we forget to tell them what this plant does to make these huge ears of corn is sacrifice energy in other places. They're not as hardy. They need us to feed them more with nutrients. They need us to protect them from pests with pesticides. So the corn starts to grow and it's weak, and they say, oh no, my magic corn, why is it weak? What do I have to do? And we say, don't worry, we have a solution for that. Just come to aisle 3 and I'll sell it to you. Here's some pesticide. I go, okay, cool. Okay, so they buy some pesticide. They take it to the field and they spray their field. Now there's a lot of problems when you just give people pesticide. It's not something that all of us should just use. It's kind of a dangerous thing, to be honest. And they're not trained how to use it. So they just go out in the field with a solar sprayer, like those ones that you pump out, has a long wand, and you just spray out. They don't have any protective clothes on. They're just spraying themselves. And furthermore, because it's not regulated, a lot of the pesticides they get is out of date. Like the person selling it will swap the label. Be like, oh, it looks the same, it's still pink. I think it's good. Slops down a new label that says it's not expired. So that person not only spent their hard-earned cash on something that doesn't work and they're just going to poison themselves, but they did it knowingly. So when you give these people these new powerful tools, but you don't give them the knowledge of how to use it well, you're really setting them up for a lot of potential failure. Technology lets us use our skills to greater effect. We now can do something more powerful than we could before with a tractor instead of just a hand hoe. We can feel We can till more land. Great, but if you fill that land with things you don't know how to use, these special kinds of seeds, all that is more wasted effort. You have more power, but if you don't use it right, it's just more waste. Us in our first world, we've gone through being a second world as well. We've learned the lessons from going step to step to step. When we jump into the third world and we say, boom, magic seeds, we forget all those steps that taught you why you should do it a certain way and the ways not to do it. There's a lot of potential harm with it. Another example, I had my neighbor come up to me, and he was really excited. He was like, Kyle, I just saw the coolest thing. He had just got a cell phone. Most of the houses not have running water, electricity, but everybody had a cell phone. I don't understand it, priorities. But he came up to me with his cell phone. He said, Kyle, look at this, it's a mermaid. It's a human fish, isn't that awesome? Have you seen one of these, Kyle? Have you seen a mermaid? Like, how do I break this to you? Sorry, buddy, they're not real. He's like, what are you talking about? I found it on the internet. There's a picture right there. Are you crazy? Look, mermaid. It was so hard to teach him, no, this mermaid's not real. A lot of the things you see on the internet are not true. But if you're just handed a cell phone, given a gate to all this vast information and misinformation, without being taught that a lot of it is misinformation, what do you expect it to do but try to use it? Try to use all of it. We have the chance as people that are growing up in this world with all this development to take those lessons to people that are now just discovering this new technology. And perhaps use it for better things, use it in better ways, really evaluate if we're even using it right. It's another chance to try again. Unfortunately, my neighbors said they wanted a big house, a big car, a big TV, a big satellite. I was sad to hear that. I don't think those are our priorities. And that's why I thought it was really cool to be this ambassador, this time traveler, and be like, look, there's things you can do different. Use solar power, don't use coal energy. Use this solar oven, don't use firewood that puts smoke into your face and makes you sick. We have a great chance. We all have the superpower of being from the future for these people. I challenge you, maybe you don't have to physically go there too, but even just sign up and help people, donate to people that are doing that work, because that's a fresh start in this world that we can all help them do right. Thank you for your time.